What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today, working on a 20-foot car trailer here in the garage. It is actually a beautiful day here in the state of Pennsylvania. About 60 degrees outside, a little windy, so I still got a hoodie on. But a couple things before we get started in today's video. Now is a very tough time for a lot of people here, so I've been trying to make more content and try to get my second channel growing as well. So if you don't mind, go over there and subscribe to that channel. Link will be in the description. Also, only 40% of the people who watch my videos are subscribed to the channel. So give out a lot of free information. Least you guys can do is hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and we'll get into it. Lastly, I ordered a couple of the new Some Grind Harder Hotshot Haulers t-shirts. I ordered about 5 or so for myself, and I love them. So links in the description for that as well. Support the channel and get yourself one. But let's get into it. We got a car trailer to work on here today. Okay, so what we have here is I think this is a 2018. It is a 20-foot car trailer. I think it is like 19, it's 21. It's 20-foot deck, then like a 1-foot dovetail. It's got clip-in ramps, which are stored on the side. I had diamond plate put on them to make them a little easier. They had the rungs, like a heavy-duty equipment ramp, so I wanted something a little smoother for cars to run up, so I put diamond plate on it. But this trailer is a 2018. It is a pretty cheap trailer. I only paid about $2 grand for it or so. It was used one time when I bought it. Now, what we did to this trailer is we put all new tape on it, and my father actually painted it. Painted the fenders and everything with like a type of like, kind of like a bed liner, but not as thick. Holds up really well. And then painted the rest with like a gloss paint, and it looks really good. But this trailer needs work. It is, it's got a wiring issue. It didn't come with a breakaway kit, so we're gonna install that. We're gonna take the 9,000-pound winch off, put that back on the big trailer, and I have a winch I got on sale at Tractor Supply. It's their Traveler winch. I think it's only 4,500 pounds, but it'll do the job for this trailer here. This is pretty much just for cars, in-ops, things like that. We're not pulling anything heavy up on this trailer. This is kind of like a rollback situation. So we're gonna look into the wiring issue on it. We are going to fix the tongue of the trailer. The lock needs some work. I have a electric jack I'm gonna put on this. The jack's bent on this, but I have an electric one, so I can take the trailer and tilt it very easily to make the loading angle less. So if you're loading a low car or whatnot, this trailer is really nice with being so long that as something goes up the back of the trailer, it'll really tilt the back end down and make that loading angle a lot less steep. But the jack's even gonna help that more. So I'm gonna stop talking. I've got it on the lift here though, which I can show you guys. I got jack stands in the front, and I got the lift under the back here. So I can take the lift and lift it up slowly, put more jack stands under the back so I can safely crawl under that. So that's what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna look for any chafed or cut wires underneath. If that's not the issue, I'm gonna go ahead and think it's this junction box here that goes to the plug. So let's get started on that now. Cut the brake. So lighting might not be that well under here, guys, but what we have is a broken wire right here. Must have got caught on something because this whole section of it's ripped out. If you roll up here to the brakes, I don't know how well the light will be. This brake's not even connected. You can see this right here with my fingers. That's not even connected to anything. So we're gonna start with repairing those after we open the junction box up, because if that's a nightmare up there too, I may just go and get a whole kit and just rewire the whole trailer and start fresh and instead of making 10 repairs on the wiring. So let's see what we got up here. All right, so we took the junction box off that was on the frame, and so you've got your wires coming in from your 7-way plug, and then you've got your wires that are going to come in from the trailer, and everything's labeled by color, and everything in here looks good. Nothing's rubbing. Everything is tight. I don't see any chafed wires, anything like that. Now it has a waterproof, has a seal and a cover that goes on it, so there is no corrosion in here. So my suspect is just those broken wires are shorting the trailer out, which causes, I think it's the right side lights to stop working, which would make sense of where that wire is broken, why it would start there, below the fuse on the truck, and also why I wouldn't have any trailer brakes. That was one of the issues as well. So it only has trailer brakes on the rear axle, and I'm pretty sure the wiring harness runs down this side of the trailer, comes here, and then goes through the axle to the other side. So if this side's cut here, that side's not getting power, and that's why you don't have any trailer brakes. So I may get under there real quick, do a temporary wiring fix on both, back the truck in here, and see, I don't think my wheel's touching here on anything. No, it's not. So what I can do is hook the trailer up to the truck, squeeze the brakes, and then I'll see if, turn the 4-ways on as well, see if we have any rear lights, and then see if the brakes work. So I'm gonna start there. So I'm gonna get underneath the trailer here, which I might not bore you guys with because there is no light under there, and see if we can't get this all fixed up. Get this trailer back out on the road for us. Does a great job for what it is. You can pretty much put this trailer anywhere. It's nice to be able to use this when you're getting, out of a storage shed or a barn. It's very light. You don't have to worry about getting stuck in the mud, just things like that. So I'd like to be able to have this trailer reliable again, and that's what we're working on. So upon further inspection, this junction box was actually wired incorrectly. So I've run into this a time or two where trailer manufacturers or junction box 7-way plug manufacturers don't all use the same colors. And if you all the colors are there, but if you don't pay attention, you'll wire it incorrectly. So the red here for left turn in the junction box, left turn is yellow. So we've got our yellow on the red pin. Blue coming from in the junction box is trailer brakes. Red on the trailer wire is trailer brakes. Black is ground, which is white out of the junction box. So we've got all those switched around. Now I still have one wire to fix under the trailer that I'm not working with, a lot of wire that's left coming from the brake drum itself, from the magnet. So we'll see if I can get under there and get that replaced, and then I think we're ready to hook this up to the truck and see if we can get it working. The truck backed in, hooked up to power, and we're still having, I need a couple bulbs or new lights because we got bulbs out in the rear, but other than that, our only issue still is the brakes. Our brakes aren't working, so I'm gonna have to figure that out. But for the meantime, I'm going to switch over to the winch. Like I said, we got a 4,500 pound winch from Tractor Supply. Going to, it comes with this mounting plate, but I like to put everything on a 2-inch receiver, so I have a spare one of those. I use this to mark the holes, and I'll get those drilled out, mounted on here. I like to put them on a 2-inch receiver, so if you need all your deck space, you can remove the winch so it's out of your way if you're hauling whatever. So let me get the drill in here and we'll get that mounted up on that plate. So it's time for little updaters. We've got the winch mounted in the 2-inch sleeve. Don't mind the wiring, that is not complete. I'm just mocking everything up to make sure it works. Got your power and ground that goes to a battery. And then you got your control module here that goes to the mounted switch I put here. So you can stand, watch the car. You're not trying to reach in the middle, you're off to one side. So we put that there. Now, we're moving on to the jack. I didn't want to bore you guys with that. I had to cut the jack out since it was bent. This plate is a little bent. We're gonna fix that. And then we're gonna put our smart jack in, which is just a 12 volt. I don't know how many pound jack this is. Does it say? I don't know if it says. I'll try to look for you. But you have an up and down button, have a light, and you can actually preset that to certain heights. So you just push the button once and it'll take the trailer off or lower the trailer back down to wherever you want it. So I'm gonna go ahead and set that up there now, get it bolted up, and then see what I wanna do for power. And this is for video purpose only, so I don't wanna hear about it in the comments. Got our batteries sitting here. That ain't gonna work. In, out. Move it out some, but winch works. Got the smart jack here. It is, if you look, 3,500 pound capacity. So that'll be more than enough with an empty trailer with some weight on it. You gotta think it's 3,500 pounds right at that spot. You'll never probably have too much on that trailer. And the nice part is you'll be able to lift and lower it to change the pitch of loading something on the back. So don't mind all this mess. I haven't cleaned anything up yet. I need to find, I'm gonna put this 12 volt wire into the junction box for the trailer plug, so that will get power off of the truck. So it was a little windy, so I took the truck out. I'm gonna pull it back in, see if we can't get that smart jack wired up. All right, well, we got everything working on the trailer. All we need to do is clean it up. Clean up the wiring, clean up the just the install from everything, tuck everything up nice and neat, and everything's working. I did order, the smart jack needs an inline 30 amp fuse. I ordered one of those, and I'm gonna put LED tail lights. I pulled the covers off of these to see if the bulbs are good, and they're not. On the right side, there's a bulb out, and they're not LEDs, so I'm gonna put LEDs back there. And this trailer's pretty much ready to go back on the road. I got the brakes working, got the lights working. You saw me install the winch, and you saw me install the smart jack. Now that smart jack retails for about $250 or so. I got it for 100 bucks from my old boss. He had a 28 to 30 foot enclosed race car trailer that he hauls his rail car with. And he ended up having, it wasn't, 3,500 pounds wasn't enough for his golf cart, the rail car, all the fuel, tires, and everything he had in it to take it on and off his motorhome. So he made me a deal for 100 bucks. So I can't really beat that. It's gonna do, what I want this car to be is like a single car recovery trailer, whether it be like roadside assistance, or somebody buys a non-running, no engine type car for a project. That's what I want this trailer to be dedicated for. Now soon I'll have the Dodge running full time, and I'll be in that every day, but I want the Chevy here, you know, hooked up or close to this, where if I get to where I need to get home, I hop in the Chevy that's already hooked, and I go and I do a roadside call. Just trying to drum up some more business, and you know, things like that. You can pay you can charge for just showing up. So you're doing 10 miles, but you can charge 50 bucks to show up, $2 a mile, 70 bucks for, you know, maybe an hour's time, so whatever. And you're not spending that much on fuel. It's not like you're running around, you know, 60 miles an hour. So with that being said, guys, I'm thinking hopefully maybe in the future here in 2020, I talked about it on my other channel, but I'm thinking since I enjoy doing this, I may start to buy some of these slightly used trailers that are just neglected, that need wiring work, bearing work, you know, just cosmetic work, and refurbing them and then putting them back up for sale. I enjoy doing this. It's really easy if you know what you're doing. There's not very many moving parts to a trailer. It's hardly any wiring. There's hardly any moving parts. Very simple, but you just got to know what you're doing. So if you're still here this far in the video, smash that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. We've got a lot of things coming here in 2020. So thanks for watching, guys.